Jonesy, another week, another cracking day of Group 1 racing and just in racing in general right across Australia. Are you excited, mate?
Man, I'm very excited. Welcome to another episode, guys. And yeah, spring has well and truly sprung. Cracking race card across Sydney and Melbourne. So let's get into it, mate.
Let's get right stuck in. Alrighty, so we're going to kick off with some horses that caught our eye as usual. Mate, kick us off.
I'm going to go with a horse that ran third, but it ran third to Gitra and NS Nature Strip in the Concord. You've got him as well?
I've got it.
It?
Yes.
Him, her?
It? I can't remember.
Him, actually. So, yeah, look, ran a really nice race. I think showed a really similar turn of foot from memory to Gitra. And jockey Tommy Berry after the race said he felt really good underneath him and reckons he'll do even better up to 1,100 metres. So that definitely caught my eye.
Yeah, he'll go well against his own age as well, 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they aim him towards like a Golden Eagle or something.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So he was one of mine as well. The one I'm super keen on is Hungry Heart.
Yeah, it looks a really, really nice horse.
Yeah, I think they're targeting her towards the 1,000 guineas, I believe, but Dame Giselle kind of put some dirt in my face.
Yeah, I was thinking that as it ran a nice race.
But that's okay. You can't get them right every single week, mate. But Hungry Heart, I think, she's a nice progressive horse, and I think that was only her third or fourth start. J-Mac was all over her prior to the race, saying that she's one of the horses that he's most excited about this spring. So, yeah.
He didn't have the best day, J-Mac.
No, he didn't. He had a bit of a dirty day, but not as dirty as Dirty Done. But that's okay. Who else, mate?
In the Group 2 Chelmsford Stakes, horse that obviously has been on everyone's radar for a long time and he's been a good performer for a long time, but Avilius running fourth had really, really slick closing sectionals. And I guess on Saturday that the pattern of the sort of suited leaders and on paces and, obviously Avilius is a back marker and he ran against the pattern of the day. So I'm assuming he'll take on VE in the George Main in a few weeks' time. So I think those two will probably be the two horses to watch in that.
Yeah, he ran a cracking race, I thought. Still, I think he's much better suited with the sting out now. And the Melbourne Cup weights came out during the week and he's been weighted pretty poorly against like a Very Elegant who's really proven at weight for age, and she's not too badly weighted at in the Melbourne Cup. She got 55 kilos.
Okay, I haven't seen that,
which isn't too bad, I don't think. She's only got 1.5 kilos off Surprise Baby. So I think he could feature. I just don't know if he's going to be right at the top end of the big features. Mate, the one during the week that caught my eye was Wild Ruler in a trial at Randwick. So Bivouac trial during the week. He had a super race. He was awesome over the 1,050.
Was Libertini in that as well?
Yeah, she was. So it'd be good to see her return as well this spring. But Wild Ruler was the one for me. Ran the quickest trial over the 1,050. And which was quicker than Bivouac, and it's known for the Golden Rose, but I couldn't find a price for it.
Oh, right.
So it's been forgotten, but in its autumn campaign, it was running behind. This was the Snowden horse that was running behind Rothfire.
Yes. Yep.
Prior to the JJ Atkins, so had some pretty solid form lines. I think it looks like it's come back in great order, so I'm gonna have a look at it in future.
Fair enough. Last one for me, Chinqueta.
Yes.
That's how you pronounce it.
Yep.
So it ran in race 5 down in Sydney over the weekend, where the race we're just thinking won. And I had Canaan, disappointing run from Canaan, to be honest. So
Actually, where's my six-pack?
oh yeah, where'd yours finish?
Third.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, 6-pack, ton bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Please.
Yeah, I have to remember that. But it's similar to Avilius, I guess, a back marker that ran against the pattern of the day and had some pretty slick closing sectionals. So yeah, definitely going to keep an eye out for it in whatever races in future weeks.
Absolutely. Cool. Any others?
No, that's it, mate. That's all I got.
Yeah. I think there'll be a stack this week.
Yeah, I think so. I did want to also mention Reloaded, and I know you're disappointed that it didn't win. Still ran a nice race and certainly one to keep an eye on.
Came in from 150 to 1 to 100 to 1 in the Cox Plate. So I was able to boost it at a bit of a letterbox price. So I'm quite excited about that if I get a run for my money. But knowing these futures, rarely does that happen. Alrighty, mate, let's jump straight in. Polo Recipients, do you want to give us a quick refresher on what our Polo Recipients segment is?
Sure thing. So for the uninitiated, we have a Polo tier system, and that's how the Polo Punt Club started, where we basically have decided that, there's some polos that are better than others out there. So you got your Ralph Lauren polos. They come in a variety of colours. The best, in our opinion, being your greys and your navies, followed by your whites and your blacks.
They'd be your middle tier.
They're your middle tiers. And your bottom tier polos, your orange and the dreaded purple. For us, we have every Derby day in our punt club. The person who performs the worst, has the worst day from a financial percentage perspective, gets the dreaded purple polo that they have to wear the next year. So, yeah.
Each week, we give out our top tier. So a navy or a grey polo each week, a middle tier and a bottom tier for both horse racing and anything else that caught our eye during the week. So, mate, who is donning a nice navy or a grey this week?
I've got two. I'm gonna give a nice top tier polo to our boy Macca.
Okay.
Because he's just stuck to his guns and he chucked Mr. Seawolf in the quaddie. We weren't that kind of Mr. Seawolf last podcast.
We weren't. Said there was 2 milers in the race. One finished 13th, which is who we backed, and the other one won it.
Yeah. So props to Mac for chucking the wolf in. Well done, mate. So I'm going to give Mac a grey. I'm not going to give him a navy. I think he'll be comfortable with the grey. So shout out Mac. The other one is I'm just going to give Fathers a top tier because it was Father's Day, obviously, last Sunday, and I spent the day with the great man, Mick Jones, and just wanted to tell the listeners and those watching on YouTube, hello YouTube, what his favourite dad joke is. And you've probably heard it, but I'll give it a whirl.
Lay it on me.
So what's the hardest thing about smelling mothballs?
Don't know, mate. Tell me.
Splitting apart his little legs.
That's good. I haven't heard that one before.
It's a Mick Jones special.
Yeah.
Just get in there and just split them apart. So, yeah, they're my top tiers for the week, mate. What about you? What do you got?
Mate, he's been giving us a solid old Rogering of late, but my God, Chris Waller.
Oh, he's on a tear, isn't he?
He deserves a top tier this week for Humidor getting that thing back in the winner's circle. That is unbelievable. Where Lindsay Smith put his hand up and he's like, "Yep, you pulled my pants down." He actually said that, and because Lindsay Smith said to retire the horse to the Connections were like, "No, we'll send it to Waller, who turns around everything." Unbelievable, and even Colding, mate.
Yeah,
Colding had a brilliant return.
Colding had a great return, and I was really pleased to see that. Just starting to find some form at the right time.
Yeah. So Chris Waller, he has deserved it, mate. Cannot catch him, even though he has about 50 runners in every card. Can't seem to catch him, but that's okay. Your middle tier, mate.
Mate, look, have to talk about it as a staunch Dragon supporter, but Anthony Griffin just got appointed head coach. I've got mixed feelings about it, hence the middle tier Polo. I can't say he's the warmest character going around in the NRL sphere. Don't know him personally, but just from how he interacts with the media and some of the reputation that he has with some former players. But he's actually got a decent record.
Bronx and Penrith?
Bronx and Penrith,
Yeah.
yep. So I think he's coached like 7 or 8 seasons. He's only missed finals once.
Yeah, right.
And that sort of consistency is what the Dragons need. So it's a 2-year contract too, which I like. So they haven't tied him up for 5 years like some certain clubs have done in the past with the coaches.
Tony?
Tony. So yeah, look, I thought it was a deserving middle tier.
Cool. Nice one. My middle tier is the VRC whip rule. So I don't know if you saw this come through earlier this week.
I did.
So basically, the VRC have put out there that from the start of next year, jockeys will only be allowed to whip their horses 8 times throughout a race. So there's a couple of things I was thinking about from this. From a punting perspective, punters were blowing up because they obviously want the jockeys to hit the horses so they'll run quicker. Jockeys are also angry that they weren't liaised with before. Consulted because they use the whip to actually get the horse running straight. And that's a safety issue. But on the other hand, you have ex-jockeys, or she doesn't ride that much, but Michelle Payne, she's like, well overdue. This is what the industry needs. And then you have Connections of Fierce Impact. I found this out a few weeks ago. And I rewatched his 2 Group 1 wins from last spring. The Connections have said you cannot whip the horse. So you see Craig Williams on the back of him. He puts his hand out and gets in the horse's vision to get him running straight, but they actually don't whip the horse. And he still was good enough to win.
And he's racing this weekend, Fierce Impact.
He is. So watch him again this weekend, but yeah.
I didn't know that. That's really interesting.
It is.
And so is that the way he's been trained, Fierce Impact, to respond in a different way?
I'd say so. Who knows? It could just be the horse really wants to win.
Or he's just fast.
Yeah, he's just a fast animal.
He's just fast.
I actually thought, just the whip rule itself deserves a middle tier because bit of a on the fence issue.
Yep.
That polarizes a lot of people, but I feel like it's moving in the right direction.
Look, yeah, I don't know enough about riding horses to comment on it, really. Yeah. Just happy to see him go around.
Yeah. Alrighty, mate. Who's looking awful?
This bloke is, I'm sorry, but he's had a shocking year and he deserves a bottom tier for his 2020. Novak Djokovic.
He's mine as well. So let's lob him in together.
Yeah, that's a dual purple polo. The dreaded 2-tier, double layered purple polo.
Sure. Long sleeve.
Yeah, like purple undershirt, matching purple cargo shorts.
Oh God.
I'm sure most of the world's seen it. Anyone who pays any attention to sport obviously couldn't keep his anger in check on the tennis court and decided to whack the ball into a line umpire, which is terrible behaviour.
Yeah, and I actually saw something on Twitter that a journo retweeted. It was an interview of him previously going is your anger going to cost you some in a big way one day? And he's like, no, I'm sick of these questions, And then it did. So he has form. Yeah, no thanks. Novak.
No thanks, Novak. And on that note, who's your favourite tennis player, mate?
I'd say Roger.
Yeah, I think Roger as well.
Just class. And,
he was long too.
He was a bit of a dick when he started too, but
he was.
When you turn it around for 15 years, people seem to forget that.
Yeah. Shout out Leighton as well.
Come on. Alrighty, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back in a jiffy. And just like that, mate, we're back. We're back. We're back on the airwaves.
We're back.
Alrighty, mate, let's get stuck in. We're previewing the Flemington card day, Flemington card rather this week. Makybe
Real
Diva,
tongue twister.
wasn't it? Makybe Diva Stakes Day at Flemington. Absolute cracking card. Can't wait to get stuck in.
Great card.
Let's get stuck into the first race, mate. 2,500 metres.
I'll be surprised if you aren't on the same page as me here, mate, but number 4, Shabao.
Yep.
Look, really impressive return last run in Caulfield, which is a few weeks ago. We'll be fitter for that. This distance looks ideal. And yeah, the only other horse that I was sort of looking at was number 7, Persan.
Yep. They're the two at the top for me as well. Not a stack of speed in this race. He can sit behind the leaders, which could be Roland the 10. What's that thing's name? Roland Garros. Garros. And Exemplar, I'm sure, will go to the front as well, as he typically does. But he can camp right behind him there, mate. Stalk and be too strong. I was looking at Persan as well, but mate, how many runs has he had this prep? Like 7 or 8?
Well into his prep. Been a great prep.
Yeah, winter form, not like Shabao's on a Melbourne Cup path. He should be taking care of these.
I think so too.
So, yep. Great. Good start.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we'll see you next week.
Alrighty, mate. The second, the Exford Plate.
Yeah.
Listed race over 1,400. What were you thinking?
Mate, I'm happy to go with the number 1, Immortal Love, which beat home Flying Award and Tagaloa last start.
You're getting a bit of a price there.
Yeah. You're on pacer, should be able to get a nice race from that middle barrier draw. Look, I'm not super keen on it. There's a couple of horses that I will be keeping an eye on out of the race, including Cherry Tortoni.
Yes. Okay. So, caveat here, punters. We've recorded this podcast on a Wednesday because I have another engagement over this weekend.
He's busy.
I'm busy.
All right.
So
deal with it.
We've done all this form prior to the odds coming out, and I've just seen something that's caught my eye. So I'm with you. Immortal Love's going to be awfully hard to beat. I'm very keen to see the 10, So You Can, who has a bit of Adelaide form going on. Got held up until the 200 last start in a 5-horse field. Aren't you dirty when that happens?
Yeah.
Anyway, got out at the 200, exploded. As soon as the jockey gave it a couple of taps, bang, straight through. So I'm keen to watch it. But yeah, Cherry Tortoni is the other one I'm keen on. And the one so Cherry Tortoni, during its preparation, only beat this horse by 1.75 lengths, is the 11 Johnny Get Angry.
Mate, he's got some form around a few different horses.
Mate, $100.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I thought he'd be like $30 or $40.
So yeah, he's run against Cherry Tortoni a couple of times, and Cherry Tortoni's last race where it won, and I think a horse called Alcyone ran second.
Then subsequent winner.
Yeah, subsequent winner. So yeah, at that price,
that doesn't add up to me. I could see him like the 1,400's much shorter than he wants. Like Cherry Tortoni and Johnny Get Angry are the ones, they're going for a Victoria Derby. They want much further.
Yes.
But at the $100, they're
and
pretty...
the name.
Yeah. Dennis Pagan's the trainer.
Is he?
Yeah. So I can't believe that. So because I did all the form before the prices came out. So crikey.
That's actually a good exercise, I think, because as much as you don't really sort of pay too much attention to the prices. Subconsciously, if you're looking at something and you really like it and it's paying 50s, it is going to have an influence.
I might have to have a shilling on him at that price.
Mate, $1 each way.
He's definitely, if I played first fours, he'd be in my first four for sure. Anyway, I'm really keen to watch him and Cherry Tortoni, but don't think they'll win, but definitely watches. Alrighty, mate. Race 3, the Let's Elope. 2 horses at the top of the market here, which will be awfully hard to beat.
I think so too. Really tough to separate Arcadia Queen and Savatiano. They're the class in the race, and both of their form reads super well in this, and lots of ticks. To be honest, I don't really want to play in this race because of that.
No.
And there's also another horse that I really like, and prefer to watch, but number 5, My Gold Bracelet. good Kiwi horse. So her last run, she ran third in Caulfield, and that's the race where the roughie that I picked on the podcast ran second, 1,000 Wishes, and didn't have any luck, but was still, ran to the line nicely. I'm not sure what she's paying because, like Hutcho explained,
$10.
$10. Yeah, look,
drawn really well.
Yeah, I might even have an each way on her, and if she runs a place, I'll be happy.
Yeah,
but yeah, good race to watch. Won't be playing too heavily.
I was thinking about this one in the shower, mate. So I think Arcadia Queen, she has to run a good race here because
agreed.
If she doesn't, they're going to have to send her back to Perth. So she was accepted in the Makybe Diva. They've chosen this race, which is against her own sex. But I think she has to win to stay here, but I actually still don't have her on top. I think Savatiano has drawn perfectly to sit behind the speed. She was scratched from the Memsey as well, so she'll be nice and fresh here. Arcadia Queen was scratched because she had a bit of a setback, a stone bruise as well. I'm just not a fan of her at the moment.
Just off her.
So, and My Gold Bracelet was the one that I wanted to watch as well. So I think Savatiano will win. Arcadia Queen has to run a race if she wants to stay and contest in the Cox Plate, but I'm not too keen on her.
Mate, we're singing from the same hymn sheet thus far.
Aren't we? All right, so let's see if that changes.
It might.
In the Bobby Lewis.
Well, there's a horse that we both love racing in this. Number 1, Tefane. I'm going to go against Tefane in this race, though.
Funny you should say that because so am I.
Oh, right. Yeah, her first up profile isn't, it isn't the flashiest. Will she run a race though? I think so. But I'm happy to go against her, and I'm going to go with number 7, Bold Star. You're joking?
No.
Yeah.
I'm on Bold Star as well.
I thought you said when you said nah that you were joking, as in I'm not with you, but no. You're with it as well. Okay.
Bold Star as well, mate. For me, Tefane, clearly best horse in the race. And if she wins, so be it. But there's a couple of things going for her. She's had about 3 trials, which she hasn't done previously. And she's first up over 1,200 metres here, where she's only been first up over 1,000 and 1,100 previously, which suits her because she's about a 1,400 metre horse.
Yep.
But I rewatched her first 2 runs last prep. They were yuck. She was battling. And I think I remember them saying, her connections saying that they need a bit of speed in the race, and you have Hell of a Street, dollar for dollar, great again. I just don't think they're going to inject that much speed in. So I think she'll be out the back, just spinning her wheels a bit, just not really getting into the race. Yeah,
and while she's the, arguably the best horse in the race on class, the best horses don't win every time they run, mate.
And Nature Strip last week, mate.
Yeah, exactly. So another thing on Bold Star, I guess, speaking of him, he ran the fastest last 600 metres.
He flew
Caulfield a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's unbeaten second up. So I think that form for this particular race, I think it reads a bit better.
I had 5 horses in my notes that I thought could win. Tefane, Zutori, the Inevitable. Yep. Dollar for dollar can run a sneaky race here. Yep. And Bold Star. Great again, it's going to be too hard for him. Galaxy Raider. Look, he won at a huge price last prep, but no thanks. And yeah, you can have the rest. But yeah, Bold Star. Gee, this is unprecedented.
This is. I like it.
Yeah.
It's good. Wednesday form reading.
Yes. Tefane's actually, they're looking for an Everest spot as well.
Okay.
So I think she will be a bit more forward, but as we saw last week with Nature Strip, you can give him another trial. He still needs a couple of runs, like race fitness to get up.
Yeah.
I think she needs 3 or 4 runs. So an extra trial, I don't think it's going to do much.
Well said, mate. Well said.
Alrighty, mate. Just a 1,700 metre handicap What are your thoughts? Can we get away from each other here?
We might be able to. I actually found this race really tough to dissect. I'm hesitant to back number 7, Toffee Tongue, and number 8, Shot of Irish on a dry track. And Shot of Irish, obviously last week, had a bit of a dilemma.
Bad boy.
He's a bad boy. And Toffee Tongue I like, but finds it hard to win. And I think would prefer a bit of moisture on the track, that mare. So I'm going to go with the number 3, Act 2.
Yes.
Looks to have a good profile for this race, and happy to have it on top.
Yeah, who'd have had form around last? Inverloch, and I think it had Just Benjamin, who was an up-and-coming stayer as well. I think he's one of the good chances. I had him in my top 2, but I went Django Friedman on top, the 5, who I think he has some German form lines coming around. So
he's unchained, Django.
Isn't he? But he ran third to Harbour Views in the winter actually, and that form is somewhat held its form with Harbour Views running third on the weekend, but I think the big tick for this horse is the dry track. The 2 times he's run here, he's had a pretty good starting price profile, and he's found heavy and soft tracks. I think the good tracks are going to suit him. Not a ton of speed in the race. He should sit just off the speed and grind away a nice little victory for me. So at $5, we can find out.
Yeah, mate.
All right, mate. First leg of the quaddie.
Happy to go with number 14, Windstorm. It looks an awesome horse. Last start, it broke the 11-second barrier in its last 200 metres. I think 1,400 metres suits, and I think it'll win this race. There was one horse that I do want to keep an eye on in this, though, and that is I just lost it. Number 11, sorry guys, Bumper Blast. That's the horse I want to keep an eye on. I think it might have been backed pretty heavily last start.
It was pumped in.
Yeah.
That was the 70... Oh, Viridane, that race.
Yeah. So I want to keep an eye on it, but I'm happy to have Windstorm on top.
Mate, I got Windstorm on top as well. He looks one of the better bets on the program. 1,100 metres first up wasn't his go, but he's still rattled home in some quick time. So, not much more to add there. 1,400 metres will suit. Bumper Blast was the other one I was looking at, so we are on the same page here. The other one is one of your on-top selections at each way bets the other week was Yulong January. I'm happy to see him again. I reckon he'll run into the top 3, drawn well, shouldn't be stuck 3 wide without cover. So, I reckon we've got it covered there. Alrighty, mate. We're going to skip the feature because we're going to do a deep dive on that.
We're deep diving in. We're wading in.
The Dane Hill Group 2 1,200. So down the straight, who'd you land on?
Oh man, again, this was a tough race for me, and there's a fair few things I like. So it's more of a watch race for me, but I do like number 2, Wisdom of Water. Wasn't far off in the JJ Atkins up here in Brizzy against Rothfire, who's looks to be just an outstanding horse. There's a few queries. Obviously has never raced on the track before. So a couple of things, the straight as well. It's just one of those funny things that some horses just seem to prefer it.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a couple of other threats. Like if I look at number 1, Prague, number 7, Ranting looks to be a decent horse. Obviously number 4, Doubtland as well. So a bit more of a watch race for me, but I've got Wisdom of Water will be my quaddie pick.
I've got him on top as well. So sorry, punters.
There's no diversity in this podcast.
Gee, mate, you've covered the other chances. The one you've left out is number 10, Personal for me. I think this is just a bit short for her. I think they're targeting her towards 1,000 guineas. Look, it's hard to say if they actually go first up because they've only had one prep, but she absolutely flew home in the Blue Diamond behind Tagaloa, ran third there right on the fence. So I think she does have some pretty solid form lines, but yeah, when Wisdom of Water first up at the Gold Coast won by 5.5 lengths over 1,200, yeah, I think
that's a fast horse.
Mate, the fast 3-year-olds this year,
insane quality. And obviously we'll touch on that race. But
yeah,
gee whiz.
Yeah. Alrighty, mate. The Get Out Stakes, the Captain Teves Stakes.
Mate, I think it's the only horse that I've looked at in this card that is actually at a pretty juicy price. Just looking through them now.
Surely we
haven't, have we? Number 5, Forever Free.
Thank God. Thank God we've gone differently for something. All right.
Look, it's resuming. It's unbeaten. It's drawn well here. So she beat Ranting in a second start, and he just crossed the line with Diamond winner Tagaloa in the McNeil a few weeks back.
Mate, can't talk you out of that.
So what's the price we got here? $17. Happy to have a go at that price, mate.
Yeah. Happy it's going to be in the quaddie. For me, I've got 2 that I'm keen on here, and they're both at prices that I can back. Spots that. The 9 has been trialling up super. It's been in a couple of trials, I think, with Tefane, and it's been, if it hasn't been winning those, it's been going awfully close. Trials don't tell the whole story, but it seems like it's going well. And the one that I really cannot understand on the price is number 1, Mildred.
I was looking at that.
So only half a length behind Dame Giselle, who's now a solid form reference, and See You Soon is now off to stud. Like half a length from Ole Kirk. She's won first up. I can't really understand why she's over $20, to be honest. So, yeah, keen to back them both. Hey, even September Run.
Yeah, I was looking at September Run.
$34.
Backed at last start. It was a little bit disappointing, but, you know, willing to forgive, and $34. Yeah, I think there's some value to be had in this race. There's a few that are definitely keen to watch how they go.
Definitely looks a wide quaddie leg. Like even Parlophone, like she played up in the barriers.
100%.
That's why I'm a bit against her playing up in the barriers. I just can't really trust her. Want to see her again.
Let's Be Glam.
Yeah, she's a great horse. She was your Blue Diamond horse. Yeah, Jenny's Rainbow. Look, could be some scratchings, but be like a few. So cool. Alrighty, mate. Let's get stuck into the feature, and as we always do, I want to bring some stats your way. All right?
Hit it, mate. Hit me with them.
When did it get founded, do you reckon?
Oh. Well, Makybe Diva Stakes. Did it have a name change? Yeah, obviously.
Name change.
The last few have been like 1800s types, but I'm going to go 1900. I'm going to go pre-Great Depression. I'm going to go like in the 1920s.
No. 1948.
Ah,
yeah, it's like a celebratory race after the Second World War.
A real post-Second World War type.
Yeah. It was a Group 2 until 2013, so only a recent elevation.
Yep. Is that when they changed the name?
I think so.
Right.
Not sure. But interesting about this race is that the winner of this race is eligible for a $1 million bonus if they win the Cox Plate.
Yeah, what's the reasoning behind that?
They have that for a few races. So the Cox Plate in Australia is considered the best horse the best horse will win that race. Best weight. It's the premier weight for age contest.
Yeah.
So you have the Cox Plate in the spring, and I believe it's the Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
In the autumn, and that's where Winks, she won 4 Cox Plates, 3 Queen Elizabeths. She was absolutely nuts. So yeah. I think they just give them a bit of a.
Right,
it gets people involved, and who won this last year, mate?
The
old Gadding Ball at 100.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Geez, that's right.
Yeah, real kick in the nuts. That was the start of Mystic Journey's downfall. So, anyway, mate, all of that aside, what are your thoughts on the race?
Mate, there's a few chances in it. There's a horse we spoke about earlier on the potty, Fierce Impact. Keen to see how it goes. Keen to see how number 11, Dalasan, goes. I've landed on a horse that's drawn the car park though, but you know,
Sosi Bon.
Mate, Sosi Bon could run a race. Who knows?
Couldn't he?
But a horse that really caught my eye, and we spoke about it at the very first podcast. I was one to keep an eye out for in the spring is Russian Camelot. Not sure who you've gone, but that win down in Adelaide was absolutely outstanding.
Something special.
So $3.60. I'm happy to have a play at that price and have it on top. But like I said, a couple other horses that have that I want to keep an eye on. Not sure who you've got, mate.
Well, I declared last time, the last Group 1, that I got on something at a bit of a price, Behemoth, and then I didn't back it when the race came on.
That was silly.
Was silly, but I had my reasons. I've done the same thing with Fierce Impact. I got him at 13-1. He's now, if he's not favourite, he's second favourite behind Russian Camelot. I'm all over him.
He's $5.50, mate, so he's a second favourite.
I love him. I think he has drawn absolutely perfectly here in barrier 5. He should just be able to stick behind. He won't need to get as far back as he usually does. If you look at the Wing Stakes, he got a pretty nice run on the rails, but a lot of these are either first up or they're out of a similar race. I think that Wing Stakes is a proper form reference. I reckon it will be one that you can follow with confidence. Like you got Master of Wine out of that as well. He wouldn't surprise me, but again, he's drawn a bit sticky. And there's not a hell of a lot of speed in this race. You got Galo Chop, the old boy, rolling on forward, but who else is going to go with him? Might have Gadding behind him, Harlem. There's no clear leaders. So I think if you've drawn a gate, you can get in a nice spot, because if they crawl, you want to be on speed. And that's my concern with Russian Camelot. Just think he might get a bit too far back, but I can understand the price, obviously.
Yeah. There's a few horses in this race that I think want further.
Yeah.
So that's why I think Fierce Impact is a great shout. Russian Camelot for me is a little bit more heart than head. But I'd be kicking myself if he gets up and I don't pick him. Yeah,
absolutely. Fierce Impact, actually, they said before he started his prep, his ultimate goal was the Cox Plate. And I understand that, but he's an elite miler. He's one of the best milers in Australia. And I think winning this, you get the $1 million bonus. He's due to go to stud as well. They want to wait for age win. They'll take anything. This is wait for age. I reckon
he'll be rock hard.
I reckon he'll be rock hard. So as a plan B, you win a Group 1 at wait for age. Gee, you got a
could be worse.
Nice little stallion on your hands. The other one, quickly, Perfect Jewel. She's the one I want to watch as well. When Piker was in the last and no one was on, at about 10-1. So she could run a nice race as well. And I think she's next favourite in the market. So, mate, give it to me. Your trifecta.
Mate, I think you've pretty much named it there. I'm going to have Russian Camelot on top. I think Fierce Impact second, and happy to have Master of Wine in third.
Nice. I've got Fierce Impact on top. I reckon Perfect Jewel for second. And something flashing home, I'm weighing up between Russian Camelot and Kingswell Dream. Kingswell Dream's just the type of horse who will stick his head out.
Yeah.
I'll go Russian Camelot because he has a more elite turn of foot. So, cool. Alrighty, mate. That's the Makybe Diva Stakes.
Looking forward to it.
I'm really looking forward to it, actually. Alrighty, let's get stuck in then. The Juicy Stakes this week, mate. Let's get stuck in. Where we try and raise some money for living legends. We've got $40 in the bank. We got halfway there last week, reloaded, ran a nice race into third.
That would have been nice.
Wouldn't it? All right, mate, let's get stuck in. Your best roughie of the day. Hit me.
Mate, let's go to Sydney. Let's go to race 8. And have a look at a horse, number 4, Positive Peace. That's a horse that I backed earlier on in the year a few times, and it's first up here. It's racing against some decent horses, namely number 8 Fasika. But Timmy Clark on the back loves riding leaders. Barrier 3, so she'll get out in front pretty comfortably. Its record's decent as Quinella, 12 out of 18 runs. And I think at $27, definitely happy to play at that price.
Group 2 winner.
Yep.
Unbelievably, we've gone the same race.
Yes.
Bit of value around in this race because Fasika's the red hot favourite. Deservedly so, I think. But
yes,
you never know if she might be a bit vulnerable. I can't believe the price of Flit in this race.
I was looking at that as well.
$17.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
Mate, she's back to her own sex again. Like, she's drawn the car park. They might scratch her from the race. I don't know. But, you know, I can't figure that out. Like, her runs this prep haven't been that awful. I think she's more effective when they ride her a bit quiet as well. And they'll probably have no choice but to ride her quiet from that gate. Look, it is a rough punt, but I think she's she had the bars one of Group 1, but thinking of all the others, she's the only other Group 1 winner in the field. Like, I can't really figure out the price. So yeah, happy. So another 6-pack, mate, on the line.
Mate, yeah. Sounds good. I don't want to owe you half a cardo. So
before we jump into each way, I've actually got another roughie, and we touched on it before. Race 9, number 1 in Flemington, Mildred, half a length from Dame Giselle, looks pretty solid form now.
Yep.
She's what, 20? She's 20.
She's 23s or something like that.
So yeah, I'll be having a shilling on both. All right, mate, your best each way.
Well, number 5, Forever Free, in the last in Flemington, $17 at the moment. That's almost roughie prices. So yeah, happy to have a play.
$17. That's
Stupid price.
That's a gift. Far out. That is a tough race that you've gone to best each way in, but I like it. I like it a lot.
Just got to be positive, mate.
You really do. I've gone 2 for each. So I've gone 1 from Sydney, 1 from Melbourne. My first one, this is one of my better bets of the day, actually. Race 3 in Sydney, number 3, Yonkers. I couldn't believe this guy went up $9. Like, he's got form behind Think It Over, who was my best each way last week. That franked the form again, running 3rd. He was at a distance there, 1,400 metres, not his trip, still ran into 3rd there. I think he's out to what, 1,700, 1,800 here. He's got a bit of weight on, but he's got an apprentice jockey on, going to be claiming. I reckon he'll run a ripping race.
Great shout.
So I'm super keen on him, actually. I'll be chucking him into some doubles and triples. So yeah, and the other one for me was Fierce Impact in the feature. Yeah,
I think he might come in a little bit, mate. I wouldn't be surprised to see Russian Camelot drift. At the moment, he's a good each way price, but I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in more the sort of $4 mark.
Yeah. I've already got him at the price, so I don't know if I'll be taking him if he comes in again, but might be playing in my Joe Exotics in that race, mate. Alrighty, your best of the day, mate.
Best of the day, number 14, Windstorm in race 6.
Yeah, I've got him on top.
Yeah. So we want to chuck 20 on the schnoz. What are we going to do?
No, because I've got a best bet in Sydney as well.
Oh, perfect. Is it... I don't know, you tell me. I think I know who it is, but tell me.
I don't think it is, but race 5, number 7, Moanga. So
that's not who I thought it was.
This horse won like Winks last start at Newcastle.
Yeah, right.
Like, she was, he even. No, he was super, super impressive. So I'm happy to have a go at him. I reckon, he's already come in for the $3 that was up earlier. So happy to lob those two together, mate, and hopefully we're getting closer. Mate, before we get into the Polo Punt Club multi, we'll take a very quick break. Alrighty, mate. So we're doing a bit of
We're back.
We're doing a bit of a bonus here. So we obviously want to have a quick look at the Run to the Rose.
Of course we do.
Mate, this is a cracking race. I cannot wait to watch it.
Yeah, so keen. It's a small field, but there's quality from 1 to 7. And yeah, there's some horses in here who are going to be absolute superstars.
Like, you got a 2-time Group 1 winner, King's Legacy. There's only 4 Group 1s as a 2-year-old. He's won 2 of them. He's $21. Like, yeah, super, super race. I have a feeling we're on the same page, but who have you got on top?
Mate, I've got Rothfire on top.
So do I.
I can't go past the big fella. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets rock and rolled by your Farnans, or even like a North Pacific, or maybe a Peltzer. I don't know. It's anyone's race. But yeah, his wasn't a trial, but what was it last week?
His exhibition. Gallop.
Exhibition, yeah. Oh, that's
32-second last 600. That's
incredible.
That's ridiculous.
I like how Burnsy's on the back of him as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, keen as to watch Rothfire, and at $4.40, I don't think there'll be too many times where he's going around at that price.
This is a total non-bet race for me, but I doubt we'll be playing a quaddie here because you need to take the field.
You do.
Like, it is that type of race, and I think, I've got Rothfire on top. He's just drawn a bit nicer than Farnan. Rothfire did prove in the JJ Atkins that he can actually take a sit behind the leaders as well, which I'm not sure Farnan's proved that. He's more of a free galloping horse. And it's 1,200 meters. Like, with the amount of speed in this race, it could turn into like a bit more of a 1,300 meter contest.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Yep. And Rothfire's ticked that box, which a lot of these can't. King's Legacy can, so be interested to see. But yeah, mate, Rothfire on top for me as well.
Shout out Heathcote Racing.
Yeah, on you, Robbie. Alrighty, mates. Before we log off for the day, who have you got in your Polo Punt Club multi?
Mate, that's a really good question.
I'll kick it off.
You kick us off.
I'll kick it off, all right? So, we have to wait a bit, but the Western Bulldogs against the Hawks, you can get the Dogs 1 to 39 at about $1.80, $1.90. And I think one of my smoky for the Brownlow this year, Marcus Bontempelli, he is absolutely flying. And I reckon he'll be an anytime goal scorer for me. So lob those two together. I reckon you'll get about $4 or so.
Yep.
I think that'll be a nice one.
I like that, man. I've got the Melbourne Storm to beat the Cowboys on Sunday. 13 plus, I'll go. And for my anytime try scorer, you can't go past the Fox.
The Fox.
Josh Haddocar. Look, I won't be paying a fortune.
No, but you lob them all together with Windstorm, with Mo'unga, mate.
So I'm looking at something decent.
We said we'd get about like $20 last week. We got 40.
Yeah.
And it went down in the first leg.
Yeah. What was it? What did I have?
You had the Panthers and so the Panthers 13 plus.
And Cleary.
That one, Cleary.
He had a disallowed try where he knocked it on. Get that on the big jobs.
We had the Lions 1 to 39, which won, but Zork didn't score a goal.
That's right.
So we're nowhere near it. That's all right, mate. We'll get closer. Alrighty, guys. That is the episode this week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. But we're getting a bit more traction on Twitter and Instagram. So if you aren't already, give us a follow. we are on YouTube, so like and subscribe if that's what you're doing. And yeah, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. But until next time, we'll see you next week.
All the best, punters.